I think that Diamond 3 is where the college plays, St. Edmund plays there, and I think they're looking at future renovations in that area. And I think if and when that semi-pro college team, if they come back next year, that's where they play also. So it's going to be a nice improvement, and that should start soon and be done by next spring. We also had a couple of discussions about some other projects, paying off some bills and whatever, but probably the one that we had most discussion about was the service line insurance plan. We do have an outside agency that wants to use the city logo more or less and partner with the city to provide service line warranties. They're going to provide basically your water lines, your sewer lines, and in-home plumbing on residential property. The costs of that were a little bit higher than what I thought was necessary. And I did some checking with our favorite insurance agent, who happens to be listening and watching and making fun of my shirt.
Is this Johnson?
Yeah, it'd be Mr. Johnson. Who said
Johnson is wise.
Yeah, but this same type of warranty is available as a rider on your existing household insurance plan. It's a little bit more affordable. We're still looking at deductibles and whatever, how that's going to pan out. The service warranty company that has been recommended by the city staff does not have deductibles. Your homeowner insurance, depending, I think, on what happened, may have like your $500 deductible associated with it. So cost-wise, we're going to do a more or less a side-by-side comparison, and we'll be looking at that again on the 28th at our next meeting. But if we decide to go with this, there will be a little bit of a kickback to the city, like 50 cents per policy per month.
I love that word, kickback.
Yeah, kickback. That's basically
you're kicking it back.
Yeah, but my suggestion to David is that rather than utilize that money for anything, use it to pay off some hardship cases with some water bills and whatever, put it into a fund that will enable us to help some of the people that are having a tough time. So if we do this, I'm hoping the city doesn't benefit from it. The only concerns that I have is it's a marketing program. People are responsible for their service lines. Those are not owned by the city. So if you do have a water line break between the street and your house, you have to pay for it. So that's part of the thing, is the education. And that's what Brett Daniel was talking about, was people aren't aware of that. He said 95% of the people aren't aware when you have a sewer line problem, or if you have a problem with your water line, it's your responsibility to fix it. And it's not cheap, so these policies have been attractive. I guess for the last couple of years, though, it has been available as an add-on on your existing homeowner's policy. So we're going to work with some of the insurance agents and compare them more or less side by side with what this is. Again, it's strictly a volunteer program, but again, anytime we put a city logo on something and we send it through the mail, people are going to assume it's the city that's doing it, and it's not a city-run project. So if you have a problem with the company, it's with the company, it's not with the city. But I hope that people understand that, as we're not endorsing it. We're just letting them utilize our existing addresses and mailings. So it's a marketing tool.
Well, we'll add that to your long list of accomplishments. Terry Minke, marketer.
Well, that's it. And my concern is if we do this for this company, what's going to stop somebody else from coming in and saying, "Hey, we'll give you a kickback if you let us send a mailer out and put the city logo
Again,
on it."
I like that word, kickback.
Well, that's what it is.
I think I need a few kickbacks.
Well, we're not doing anything for the money. It's just basically they're handing us money for letting them use our, existing mailing list. So,
right.
We're providing them with a consumer name. So it's just an opportunity for them to make money off of the city residents, and we're just helping them.
Would you like to enter into a contract with me so I can be the spokesperson for Minke Optometry, or whatever you call it?
I couldn't afford you.
Oh, probably. Depending on what I had to do.
Yeah. Well, we did.
I think Doyle Diesel's having something this weekend.
Are they?
I think so.
We had this weekend. We got the Freedom Rock dedication at 10 o'clock on Saturday. Bring a chair if you want to go out there. It's on what is it, 2nd Avenue North and A Street, right up there across from the country club, south of the country club.
Yeah, you can't miss it, really.
Yep. And it has never been dedicated. And the Moeller family actually made a request to the city that we dedicate the rock. So the Veterans Council is going to do that this weekend. Tom Dorsey's been working, creating a pretty good little program. It will start at 10 o'clock. So I encourage you to get out there if you get
Moeller family, like Moeller Furnace?
Yeah. Yeah. Willis Moeller is on the Freedom Rock. He was got the Distinguished Flying Cross, actually, back in World War II.
My hat's off to him.
Yep. Yeah, quite the pilot. Actually,
Nevin Mulholland has an interesting story. His
just one.
Yeah, well, he has several, but
Okay.
he's getting kind of senile. He kind of forgets them anymore. I mean, I reminded him of this great story he told about Dave Flattery in his Iowa State days.
Yeah.
Apparently, Dave, the Cincinnati Reds were looking at Dave as a catcher, or Dan.
Pitcher.
It was Dan.
Yeah.
It was Dan. And Dan was going to go with them or go to their minor league team or something, and that they bought him a catcher's mitt. Now, this was a $300 catcher's mitt, which is much more expensive. $300 was more money in the 70s than it is now. And the Reds said, we're not going to do that. We can't afford you. Besides, we already have a pretty good catcher. And Dan said, who is that? And they said, Johnny Bench.
Oh. I don't know how those catchers. Mike Johnson was a catcher.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, back in the days. Yeah, but I don't understand how they can
That's
kneel
not
down.
obscene or anything, is
No,
it? Okay.
no, that's not. But it just looks to me a very painful position. I would rather play shortstop.
Nothing to it when you're young. Nothing to it when you're young.
That's the problem, is that you're not young forever. So
that's really profound.
thank you. That's a deep thought.
That's a deep thought. Were you out for sports when you were in school? And
I played up until the point where everybody got better than me, and then I quit.
Yeah,
I played
second,
football.
third grade, or what?
Yeah, I was about fourth. I played basketball. I played some football. And I did track. I ran the 220, and I was pretty good until some kid went around me like I was standing still, and I realized I wasn't nearly as good as I should be.
Yeah.
So, yeah. I'd like to say that I discovered women and started making money, but that's not true. No,
I thought I was going to be a big wrestling stud until we went to Blue Earth, Minnesota. I've told the story several times. Man, did he throw me on the mat. And then he put his shoulder right in my cheek, just right in my cheek, and ground his shoulder into my cheek to get me pinned. Well, I submitted immediately because that hurt so damn bad. And I was kind of looking at the ref going, can you call the pin now? I'm in terrible pain.
help a guy out here.
He finally did.
Yeah, I didn't wrestle. We wrestled in gym class, but that was never my thing. That looked like it was too much work.
To be a good wrestler?
My kids wrestled. Both the boys wrestled. Sean wrestled all the way through school.
Good for him.
He did quite well. He obviously never quite got to the level of some of them, like Teskey and those guys. But he did well for the small school that he was at. So
yeah.
He used to get frustrated. He actually got bit one time and got thrown out of a match because he retaliated after the guy took a chunk out of his arm. So
I used to see that every now and then.
Yeah, but he actually had teeth marks, and the ref obviously didn't see it. So, yeah, so it was fun. Jimmy Ellison was his coach, basically.
Jim was solid. He had that YMCA program.
That's where we started. And I think third grade with the kids, and then he was over at St. Ed's. So Sean started with them, and he ended with them. And I always liked Jimmy. He was hard on the kids, but the kids really, I think, appreciated him over the years.
He was hard, but in my son wrestled over there. He was hard, but he was more direct than hard. He wasn't somebody who scared the kids, but he definitely wanted the kids to hear him.
Oh, yeah. He was bouncing on the sideline.
Yes, he was.
Not afraid to scream. Yeah.
Well, no, that's right. But I don't, some of the kids, I suppose some of the kids would fade away at that sort of treatment. But I found out in the fifth grade that coaches will yell at you.
Yeah. Yeah. There's a couple of Jimmy's stories that we can't relay on the air because he'd probably get in trouble if we did that.
I'm sure the statute of limitations will run out. He's been gone now from wrestling for a while, hasn't he?
Yeah, well, I think he left St. Ed's. It's been some time ago now. Probably 6, 7. I think he still drives for the post office.
Does he?
I think he does school buses too. Yeah.
I don't know. Well, some of the kids he had when he first was over there are probably in their 40s.
Yeah.
Now,
well, Kyle's 40 this year, so
yeah.
He's got to be. Yeah. I still see him on occasion, but he's always funny. Sean always said when he went in the Army that basic was nothing because after what Jimmy put him through in wrestling, he said that it never reached that same level as what Jimmy required of him. Jimmy,
my son wasn't quite as complimentary when he went to the Marine Corps. He apparently told his friends, and he told me, no, I was all ready for the Marine Corps boot camp. I'd lived with my dad for quite some time.
and beat senseless.
Well, no, I was never somebody who well, I have to admit I spanked a couple of times, but that was his whole life. I didn't really, my parents didn't really give us that much physical correction. Of course, you got the hell beat out of you every day, right?
My oldest brother he took the brunt of most of my dad's venting, but he deserved everything he got. We were just talking about that last night. We were trying to remember some stories, and some of the stories that came out, you kind of wonder how my older brothers existed. He was pushing the limit. So the rest of us were like saints.
Well, I'll have to say my son didn't give me much trouble. I gave my own parents plenty of trouble. I know they got a call late at night that I was in the police station drunk. I was like 15 or 16 years old. And they could come up and take me home after they cleaned up the bathroom.
Oh.
Because I had yacked in there.
Yeah. My suggestion would be that you clean it up yourself. We'll come get you in the morning.
No. I don't know. Yeah. That was too far along. That was way too long ago. I don't remember what happened.
Yeah. So anyway, we do have some more public hearings coming up. Williams Drive, the sanitary sewer, the Oak Forest lift station will be on the next agenda. That's just over $2 million. All the right-of-way has been purchased for that, and that's going to relieve a lot of the stormwater issues, do some other sanitary issues up in that area with the additional building in Williams Bend and along Williams Drive. And we also have, I guess, basically paying bills and watching the road construction happen. I'm thinking probably Castor Construction will start opening up some of the roads. Look like 15th Street is slowly progressing. They're getting the stormwater work down there. And at the foot of the bridge, I think they've got that almost ready to pave. I was by there this morning. It looked like they were getting close to getting that ready to pave. They ran into some problems with the rain. So hopefully we'll get things back to normal shortly. The mall, as you can tell when you drive by, they're tearing up the parking lot on the east side of J.C. Penney. There is going to be some construction over there with Unity Point. I don't know if that's for that construction or if they're just getting ready for the demolition, because I think J.C. Penney will be coming down here shortly, which will be fun to watch. It's going to make
I thought it was coming down last week, actually.
Yeah, well, they got the equipment there, and Jensen's on the south side looking at the tire place. They've got some equipment setting there, so things are moving. It's nice.
Tire place? What are you talking about?
They're going to put a tire store on the south part of it where K Jeweler is. Just
I didn't know that.
Just to the east, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So again, it's nice to see.
What kind of tire spot? Like Tires Plus?
Round ones, yeah, something like that. Round ones, black, probably. Yeah, have lugs on.
We do have privately owned tire places here in town.
We didn't have anything
Daniel, Rogers, Pingle's still around.
But it is nice to see, somebody come into town that says they're going to do something and they actually do it.
Yeah.
That's nice to see.
We didn't give any kind of tax enhancement to this new tire company.
No, we did not.
Okay.
They did not ask for any, and they didn't get any.
All right. Terry Mankey's been our guest. Thank you, Terry.
You bet.
All right. This is AM 1400, KBFD, the voice of Ford Dodge. We'll talk ag markets next with Mike Ewing.
Hi, this is Leslie Segretti.
And I'm Tom Kreitler, and you can hear the Money Pit every Saturday afternoon from 4 to 6 on the voice of Fort Dodge, AM 1400 KVFD, Fort Dodge.
The countdown to a COVID vaccine. I'm Lisa Brady, Fox News. Federal officials are talking about when, not if, a vaccine is coming. Fox's John Decker is live in Washington.
White House Press Secretary Kayleigh McEnany expressing confidence that a safe and effective coronavirus vaccine will be available to the public before January.
We're still of the belief that we will have a vaccine by the end of the year. Operation Warp Speed has made it clear that their goal is to have more than 100 million doses. We're manufacturing in advance to make that a possibility.
Dr. Anthony Fauci, a member of the White House Coronavirus Task Force, generally agrees with that timeline, saying vaccine trials are going well, but cautioning a cure would not be ready until the end of 2020 or the beginning of next year. Lisa?
And John, at a Senate hearing today, the head of the CDC tapping the brakes a bit, emphasizing that the first batch would be prioritized, for instance, for those most vulnerable with comorbidities, and that it might be next spring or summer before a vaccine is widely available to the public. Joe Biden, meantime, lining up his own vaccine briefing today from public health experts, including a former U.S. Surgeon General. Coast Guard helicopters in search and rescue mode after Hurricane Sally's landfall early today in Alabama. There have been dozens of rescues in Pensacola, Florida, as the storm dumps feet of rain in some areas and continues to move very slowly.
So a dangerous situation continues with the winds, the rain, and also the storm surge and tornadoes. These rain bands that we've been talking about for the last few days. In those rain bands, you can see some waterspouts, you can see some tornadoes.
National Hurricane Center Director Ken Graham. The Fed stays the course, keeping a key interest rate near zero for the foreseeable future. But a rally fades on Wall Street, the Dow finishing up 38 points, the NASDAQ a late sell-off down 139. America is listening to Fox News.
Hi, this is Jay Farner, CEO of Rocket Mortgage. Making the right financial decisions has never been more important. We can help guide you to those right decisions now when they matter most. Mortgage rates are near historic lows. So when you call 8338-ROCKET or visit us at rocketmortgage.com to start your refinance, you'll be well on your way to saving money every month. The rate today on our 30-year fixed rate mortgage is 3.375%, APR 3.59%. Right now could be a great time for you to take some positive financial steps forward with a cash out refinance from Rocket Mortgage, which could give you the boost that you're looking for. In addition, we may be able to help you refinance with little or no out-of-pocket costs. At Rocket Mortgage, we're committed to every client, every time, no exceptions, no excuses, giving you the best mortgage experience. Call us today at 8338-ROCKET or go to rocketmortgage.com to learn more.
Rates subject to change. Pay 1.875% fee to receive this discounted rate. Call for cost information and conditions. Equal housing lender. Licensed in all 50 states. NMLS number 3030.
Damage and looting during recent protests that turned violent are adding up to record costs.
It would be the most expensive insurance bill in U.S. history, up to $2 billion worth of claims stemming from riots sparked by the police killing of George Floyd. The Axios report cites figures